Welcome, ladies and gents. We are here broadcasting live from the Scientology Community Centre here in Dublin, and this is the Stephen Leeson Show. Every week I'll be presenting some of the most talented singers and musicians as we go live across Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. Along with their incredible performances, you'll hear backstories and insights into their music and careers as we get up close and personal. So if you're up for a sing-along and a bit of crack, you're in good company. The only thing we ask for is your online support, which means liking, sharing, commenting and tagging friends. Our act tonight are a high-energy contemporary folk band from Tipperary. Over the years, they have created a unique sound mixing various genres from their backgrounds, and their influences include trad, folk, pop and rock. When at home, they frequently gig in various venues around Ireland and the UK. And last year, whilst playing as a resident band at Raglan Road in Disney Springs, Orlando, Florida, they used the opportunity to record their upcoming album, The Unsolicited Dance. That's a big word for me to be saying. The Unsolicited Dance, which is due for release on June 18th, which is next week. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome their banjo player, Sean Mongie, and their bass player, Owen Salmon, strings and things.
Thanks for having us, Stephen.
How are you doing, lads? Don't forget your mic.
Oh, microphone.
How
are you, Stephen?
Lads, you're very welcome. And thank you for travelling all the way from Tipperary to be
no
here
problem
tonight.
At all.
Yeah.
We're happy to be here.
And we got all the sound checks and done. And I just want to ask, lads, you tell me a little bit about the band and maybe the songs a little bit before we get you singing and playing along.
Do you want to take the first one? The first one. Well, what song should we? Is there any song that piques your interest that you might have heard? Or?
Yeah, just like what are songs are you going to start off with? Are the originals traditional? What's
we have a few originals that we're going to have coming up soon, and we've got two tunes that we've wrote, written by our very good banjo player here, Sean Mongie. He wrote two tunes, and they both come from two different styles of background. So the first one being Fuaim Gathering. It has a much darker tone rather than the Pedantic Platypus, which is appropriately named, and that's. I don't know, how would you describe that one? I find that's
happy.
Happy.
It's happy.
Yeah.
The other one's dark and it goes fast and it's all a minor key, and then the other one's a happy tune.
Is there some history behind the name of it, Fuaim Gathering?
Fuaim Gathering actually comes from a festival that never happened. It was in Tipperary. A few friends of mine were putting it together, and it was due to be a very good, big thing, and they had a few different people coming from the UK and everything, and it got shut down last minute because licensing and the Unsolicited Dance Act, which is an act from about 100 years ago to stop like hedge parties and stuff like this back in the early 1900s. So we decided to name the album after the Dance Act, and then I decided to name the tune after the festival, just to kind of pay homage to it, because there was a lot of work involved and it's kind of sticking in the sea and not happened. So we decided, okay, we'll pay some homage and we'll do this. So.
And what type of tune is it? Like, is it like rhythm? Say, why is it? You know, jig, reel?
It's a reel.
It's a reel.
It gets really fast.
Really fast reel.
Really fast reel.
Really real.
It changes time a little bit throughout. It kind of goes a bit mayhem every now and again. I'm not too sure on the time signature. You'd have to ask our percussionist.
Okay, yeah. We'll get to that after. Yeah.
It's a bit crazy, to be honest. I don't know how to describe it.
When you're writing a tune, I've never written a tune actually before. I've written a melody to a song as such, like myself or whatever. How does your mind work? You're a tune player, so I suppose your mind is already in that way.
I don't know, it kind of comes to me. Some days I'll sit down and I'll write maybe 2 or 3 tunes, and then another day I could sit down for 4 hours and come up with nothing. And it's just kind of messing about, thinking of chord structures and, okay, I like this bit, right, remember that, try add something else to it, grand. And a lot of the time I'll just be pretending halfway through. And then after a couple of months I'll actually have a solid basis for the tune, but it sometimes takes a long time. So it's a lot of tune and fro.
A very long time.
A very long time.
Very long time.
And do you work together, like when you brought the tune to the lads, I suppose, like, you know, you work together on the arrangement then of the tune? Is that how you got about it? Or?
What I find happens is someone will go away and write a song, be it lyrics or a melody or even a tune, and then what happens is it's brought to the other 3 band members, and then we kind of structure it, and we might even take a part out, we might add bits, you know, we might skim it down the whole way, we might make it a lot more, we might put a lot more into it. But usually it starts off with one person writing it and then everyone else putting their own input into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And totally different genres of music, I suppose. You're a bit more traditional, if I'm right, and you're coming from a rock background, is that right?
Yeah, and pop and all that, yeah.
Okay,
the
so
classics.
you're combining everything together
Yeah.
to get it. And how do you feel when you've written something that you think you want it one way and then it just turns out to be maybe not what you want, I suppose,
Actually,
you know?
happens a little bit, but not as much as you think. As different as we all are, we can agree on a lot of things when it comes to music, but sometimes they don't come out how we want them to come out exactly. But a lot of times when I would write something, I have no clue how I really want it to sound. I kind of leave it up to them. It's like, go on, I trust you. You're going to throw something nice to it. And it always works in the end.
Okay, well, it made the album, yeah?
Yeah, I made the album.
Okay, so happy enough for
Made the first track, so.
Oh, okay. Were you going to say something there, sorry?
Oh yeah, after we played about 1,000 times over as well.
Yeah, well, that's...
Has to be done.
You've probably got a lot of rehearsing done from playing live together. You've played Raglan Roll, isn't it? And
yeah, we were playing 5 to 6 nights a week, 2.5 hours a night. I think it worked out 200 and something gigs in the year. Which it seems like quite a bit when you put it that way, but it was very much rinse and repeat a lot of days. It was go in, do your songs, come home, and we'd have time to practice maybe during the day. But we got very good at doing 40 to 50 songs. The rest of them suffered.
Okay.
We got tighter as a band though.
Yeah.
Oh,
As a
100%.
result, it was, it really benefited us in that way as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the album being recorded in Florida too. We were able to practice all those songs.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we were able to get a good idea of what we wanted on the album while we were recording it. And if there was something we came up with one night, we'd go, oh yeah, we'll throw that in when we go home, you know, and record it then. So
Deadly, yeah.
a lot of playing around.
I tell you what, we won't talk too much more about the songs. I'm going to have the other two lads back on the interview. We'll let you take it away and join the lads, and we'll get a few songs off you and maybe hear the tune as well. And lads, thank you very much. I'm going to let the lads join the other two lads on the stage as the percussion and the guitarist and singer. And I'm looking forward to hearing the lads. All I've heard is they're rehearsing. I've been following them on Facebook and the social media platforms as you do, and I was introduced to them by their manager Pauline about a year ago, I think it was. So lads, I hope you enjoy it. Sit back and relax. Here's Strings and Things.
Weren't they lovely? Okay, the first song we're going to play for you is a song by Nena. It's called 99 Red Balloons. You and I in a little toy shop, bag of balloons with the money we got, set them free at the break of dawn, till one by one they were gone. Back at base, bugs in the software, flash the message, something's out there floating in the summer sky, while 99 red balloons float by. It's a red alert, there's something here from somewhere else. The war machine springs into life, it opens up one eager eyes, focusing it on the sky, while 99 red balloons float by. While 99 red balloons float by. 99 Decision Street, 99 ministers meet to worry, suits or scurry, call the troops out in a hurry. This is what we've waited for, this is it boys, this is war. The president is on the line, while 99 red balloons float by. While 99 red balloons float by. 99 nights of the air, right super high-tech jet fighters, and everyone's a superhero, everyone's a Captain Kirk, with orders to identify, to clarify and classify, scramble in the summer sky, while 99 red balloons float by. While 99 red balloons float by. 99 dreams I have had, and every one a red balloon. It's all over and I'm standing pretty in the dust that was the city. If I could find a souvenir just to prove the world was here. So here it is, a red balloon. I think of you. Thank you very, very much. That is 99 Red Balloons. Hope you'd enjoyed that. This is a wonderful, wonderful venue we're in here today, as Stephen said earlier on, the Scientology Centre here in Tala.
Tala, yes.
Write that down, yeah. And we're having fun. This is a wonderful, wonderful place, and we're very honoured to be here. And we're going to play some covers. We're going to play some of our own original songs. And we're going to do a song that we don't often do, but we thought, why not? This is fun. So this is a song called Spanish Lady. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. As I went down to Dublin City at the hour of 12 at night, who should have spied but a Spanish lady washing her feet by candlelight. First she washed and then she dried them over the fire and her home. In all me life I near to see amid so sweet inside a room. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. As I went down to Dublin City at the hour of 8:30, who should have spied but a Spanish lady brushing her hair in the broad daylight. First she brushed and then she tossed it on. Her lap was a silver comb. In all me life I'm here to see amid so sweets inside the room. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. As I returned to Dublin City as the sun began to set, who should have spied but a Spanish lady catching a knot in a golden net. First she saw me, then she let me, lifting her petticoat over her knee. In all me life I'm here to see amid so sweet as a Spanish lady. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. Wackfulatura, you're laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. North I won, it's south through Sawney, batter in the Patrick's Club. Up and around by the mustard tiger, back by Napper's Handy's house. All ages laid her hands on me, over the fire of ash she goes. And all my life I near to see amidst the sweets inside it row. Wackfulatura, you're a laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. Wackfulatura, you're a laddie, wackfulatura, you're aye. Wackfulatura, you're Cool. That is the Spanish lady. Thank you very, very much.
My goodness, I'm warm now. I'm good and warmed up.
Good and warmed up.
Yes.
We're good and warmed up. So, the next thing we're going to do for you now is a set of tunes.
Yeah. Aye.
You call it set of tunes?
But not just any set of tunes. the set of tunes that Mr. Sean Mungy wrote himself.
Yeah. So what we're going to do for you now is the first of our own original stuff. Our album, The Unsolicited Dance, as was said earlier on, is coming out next week, this day week. And
Yes.
we are really, really excited. Can't wait for it. So we're going to play one of the tracks from the new album for you now. We're going to play the opening track for you, in fact, called Fuaim Gathering. Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful.
That was,
Is that good?
yes.
Was that good, lads?
That was okay. I felt that went well.
As I said, that is called the Fuaim Gathering, and yeah, that was good crack. I enjoyed that now.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Was it good for you?
Oh, yes.
Good,
always is.
good man. So we're actually going to carry on now with another set of tunes. This is probably has an official name somewhere, but God knows if we know. So we renamed it something else. This is what we like to call the Enterprise Room.
Yes. It's 4 trad tunes that I pulled from various places, and they just sound well together.
happy to say I love my job here every Friday night. Anyway, to be able to hear bands such as Strings and Things. I'm just going to give a shout out because this show is live. I know there are some gigs that go on live and they're pre-recorded, but this one is not. Kieran Finn was saying that he met the lads back in 2019. That was one of the comments went up. Daniel Murphy saying hello. We've got Irene Gray from England. Thomas Golden is also listening. He's going to be here in a few weeks' time. Tony McCabe, Michael O'Reilly, Sarah Boland, Diana Stahl is listening in, and we've got Ethel Trapmongi, which I'm assuming is related to Omongi. Anyway, I'm going to have two of the lads join me. We've got James O'Mara, Ryan and Owen Shelley, who are here beside me. Sorry, I pronounced your name wrong, and I even asked you earlier. You're welcome, lads. How does it feel to be back playing?
Warm.
Yeah.
I was just saying it to James while the lads were on. They're a little bit here. We got the raw end of the deal because we had to play 4 tunes before we come up here, so it's warm and we probably look like we've been running a marathon. So yeah, but it's good to be here, so thank you very much, Stephen, for having us.
I'm feeling the heat as well. Thank you, lads. What a sound, what an arrangement of the songs. I'm absolutely loving it. Like, you know, it's the different rhythm changes and all that. I'm assuming you come up with the different rhythm changes. Would that be right?
Actually, when it comes to the tunes, it's more Sean who
is it
rules
Sean?
with iron fist when it comes to the tunes. But no, in fairness, Sean he's a maestro when it comes to it. Like, so me personally, tunes are just. I didn't grow up in a trad background, so I'm graced to have a man who knows his way around a set of tunes.
Tell us a little bit about your own background then.
My background is more kind of on the folky side.
Okay.
Monster Men, Lumineers, Hudson Taylor. I listen to a lot of that stuff, and I pull a lot of my songwriting from their style as well. I originally got my inspiration from an American band, Vice Avenue, and they influenced me to pick up the instrument I'm currently sitting on. So I was fascinated by it back about maybe nearly 10 years ago now soon. So yeah, intrigued enough. So picked up music, played for a couple of years, and got invited to a couple of sessions in Thurles, and got the feel for wanting to play in a band. And everybody else I was playing with were in bands, and so it was kind of difficult to find a place. Now I filled in on a few spots when people were out or sick or whatever, and then a friend of mine, Stephen Spratt, sent me an advertisement. Himself was looking for a percussionist. Went for an audition, came home from Sligo.
Stephen Spratt, did you say?
Stephen Spratt, yeah.
He's not from Portlaoise, is he?
He's not, no. He's
different
native
Stephen
Thurles.
Spratt, yeah.
He's now living in Castlebar in Mayo.
Ah, okay, different fella.
But yeah, sent me the invitation or the ad, and I came home from Sligo, and this lad rang me as I was literally getting in the front door and goes, are you around this evening? I was like, I am. Can you come over for a bit of a practice? We get an old feel for you. I was thinking, oh, I suppose so, go on. And in I rocked. And
was he Simon Cowell on you?
No, I know, in fairness to them now, himself and the two lads he was with were they were gracious hosts, but they were intimidating considering there's a bit of an age gap between us now, not much, but just enough that I've never been intimidated when it comes to music. And
but come here, did you looking you up? You traditional Irish competition, Scorn at Pashty. Was it you involved in it?
I did the Scorn at Pashty, back donkeys ago, like when I was primary school and stuff like that. That's more on the vocal side of things. I did Scorn at Pashty with the ballet groups and stuff like that, and
you sang in choirs as well.
Sang in choirs, with the harmonies and stuff like that, and it kind of bounced in and out. Like, you know, my mum's a good singer and stuff like that. And my dad was in the Thurles Musical Society for years till he moved to Cork and so on and so on. My uncle Finbar, he is in it. He's a veteran at this stage. He's there as long as the Premier Hall in Thurles is there. Okay. So so
are you also part of some committee? If I looked up right, the Glash Music Festival. Yeah, committee, is that right? I hadn't heard of that festival. If you didn't tell me about it,
it's a small enough kind of thing, but it's a small festival with a big heart. In fairness to it, because we do it for Pieta House and
very good, fair play.
Different charities over the years and stuff. Now, like everything else, COVID swept it from underneath us. So hopefully, when it all clears back up, hopefully we'll get back at it and all so forth. But I have the lads to actually, Strings and Things, to actually thank for that, because I wouldn't have had a ground, or like basically we got brought in for the whole headlining the nights and stuff like, because we brought in our gear and stuff. As I said, it's a charity thing, so you have to donate your time and your efforts. And because the lads got
It's a good cause.
the band actually formed. That was their first gig back in 2013, and I was mad to play it. Played it with them the year after, and so forth. And then I work in Holy Cross, so I work with a lot of the people who are in the festival. And they asked, "Hey, listen, look, you're doing okay now. Would you mind giving us a hand with the music?" Called Stephen Spratt. Again, he moved away, so I took the reins of that. So, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, good opportunities.
That's the story of the Lash the Glash. So hopefully going well, it all goes back to normal.
Yeah, hopefully by next year, maybe be back on again, like, you know. Tell us a bit of the history, James. Tell us a bit of the history. Are you the founding member of the band? Or?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit of history about the band then before this fella had joined you.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I have to talk
Yeah,
into
you
this
do.
idea.
Yeah, it's very easy to forget, yeah.
So yeah, I'm the only founding original member, whatever you want to call it. But the band formed very much so by accident,
Okay.
which I love. It was not planned.
That's cool, yeah.
You know, through sessioning around and aspirations of wanting to do a band of some sort. I wanted to be in a metal band.
Right.
I wanted to do that, and I had.
Are you saying you're not happy, like?
No.
I'm only joking.
No. But yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to do originally, and I had a friend that we did that for a while. We just jammed around in his house and whatever. And when I met Sean, and I started hanging around with his crowd, people of the session, going to sessions and actually being introduced to that whole thing where people sit around in a circle and just play music because they can. It's like, oh wow, this looks so much easier than trying to find a gig playing Pantera songs.
Yeah.
But that was kind of.
I have to ask you because although, as I say, like we can talk about Pauline and Impact Promotion, but when I was first introduced, I've listened to a lot of your stuff over the last year, I suppose, whatever that, But then when I went to kind of try and research this and find out a little bit more about you and your background and the whole lot, I was looking up the name, and I did find an interview that was actually talking about the name as well. I found Strings and Things, but it wasn't the Strings and Things that you are.
Of course.
So I have to ask you about the name as well, and I know you haven't asked about it before because I found cheese.
Well, the name, yeah. Well, as I said, the band kind of really happened by chance.
Sorry,
Well,
I did find cheese
Oh,
when I
cheese.
found it.
Strings and
Strings and
yeah.
Things is
Yeah.
a cheese, isn't it?
yeah, we're well aware of them.
I'm absolutely by now, yeah.
No, when we had before the band formed, there was no sort of what's the word? There was no plans after the gig. Let's say we had this gig because of this session that we played in Holy Cross. My auntie was having her daughter's christening, and she goes, "Will you round up some musicians?" And I said, "Yeah, no hassle. How hard can that be?" And I wanted to round up as much musicians as I could, and it turns out there was only a few of us that could go that night. And whatever we did that night, everyone just enjoyed it. And we were asked by one of the girls who ran the pub at the time, she said to me, "There's someone's after pulling out of Lash the Glash on the Saturday night. Do you want to do it?" I'm like, yeah. And that was that. We had the gig, but there was no plans after the gig, but we knew that we needed a name for the gig. So Strings and Things was picked. But when we did the gig,
That was the first gig, yeah?
yeah, the very first gig, we needed a name for it. So that's kind of what we put on it, because there was no plans really after that. It was only until we kind of assessed the reception we got the first time that we said, okay, this is worth keeping on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was it. That's kind of how it happened in a very simple way.
Yeah, no,
There was
it's
no plans. But,
yeah, it's brilliant that it's formed that way. And how many years ago was that? That was 2013, and you still got a band going.
Eight
like,
and a
yeah.
bit years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been very kind of fortunate to get to play with a whole host of different musicians, because we've had a lot of different musicians in the band throughout.
Yeah,
and
that's what happens with bands, yeah.
that's just what happens. It's annoying sometimes when lineup changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and then again, it's good because you better yourself from it. And I've just been lucky to play with lots of people.
Well, you've found
one
your
band,
common
so-
ground now, and by the sound is there
Yeah.
tonight anyway, I think,
Yeah.
anyway.
Thank you.
What about Impact Promotions? Tell me a little bit, how did you end up, did Impact Promotions have something to do with just going over to Florida in the first place, or
So-
what happened there?
We met Pauline Dermot in February of 18.
February of 18, yeah.
In-
She contacted us around Christmas time of 17.
Yeah.
Not long after Owen actually joined us, and she said she spotted us on Facebook. We would like to go up to play her Jetty Jam in Kelly's and Killisandra, and we were like, never been to Cavan. Let's go to Cavan. So yeah, she invited us up, and
Yeah.
yeah,
That was it. We played and we did our thing, and the first thing she really said to us was, "There's this gig going, there's in Orlando," and we'd heard it all before.
she secretly auditioned us.
Yeah.
She brought us up. Oh yeah, you're one of 3 slots. I just want to see how you are. And then we did our parts, we did our bits and pieces, and she rocked on after we banjaxed after a gig, and she goes, I have this thing I'm trying to sort out in Florida. And as James says, we looked at each other and said, Denmark,
We'd heard it
Azerbaijan,
all
We've heard this
Spain,
before, like, yeah,
France,
yeah.
all these things, and we were like, yeah, sure,
Okay.
fine. That's no problem, Pauline. You do what you have to do. And that Friday we came home on the Sunday evening, and got rang Monday. Didn't recognise the number because I hadn't put Pauline's number into the phone yet. So up rocked this number, and she goes, "Are you busy Friday?" I was thinking, no. And she goes, "I have David Hayes." And I was like, "Who's David Hayes?" She goes, "That's the music coordinator for Raglan Road in Orlando." And I was thinking, wait, what? And she was like, "You need to find a pub, you need to get your gear, you need to go audition." I was like, oh, okay. So rocked on, rang the lads. We're like, "Lads, this, oh God." So
This is real.
this is real, and met David Hayes, and David Hayes painted Disney for us, and we were just like, I need to get off for the summer, and that's basically how it works. And went in on the hands and knees to the boss. I was like, "I'm going to Disneyland, can you please let me go?" And she was like, "Of course." And that was 3
How
months.
long? 3 months. I was just
3
gonna
months
ask,
turned into 4, and then we came home, and it was kind of sad, really. It was a bit sad when we came home because, first of all, we got so used to setting up our own, like, for just all we had to do was rock onto the stage in Raglan, plug in instruments, belt it out for 2.5 hours, plug out the instruments, put them back in the bag, go home. We had to go back home then from Florida and relearn how to set up our own gear and set up how to do the sound, and
A tough few first weeks back. I will say that the last gig that we did on the first time around was, I think, it's in my opinion anyway, the best gig we ever did.
yeah.
There was something that summer we spent over there with just all the people we met and all the people who came out to see us and whatever it was. It all just kind of accumulated that night, and it was just a really crazy emotional sort of night. And
Did you come home with money, or did you spend it all while you were there?
it was all gone.
So you came home broke.
Completely broke.
went over with ambitions, came home
Nothing.
with very expensive in-ear monitors, with hopes that, I'll use these when I come home. And they're very difficult to walk in because they plug your ears. It's hard to hear cars and people around you, so I stopped wearing them out of safety for my health in case I got hit by a car. So they're nice and tucked away, hopefully just waiting for a call. Hopefully Raglan will come knocking hopefully just to finish off those 3 months that were snatched from us.
You had another 3 left.
We don't technically have 3 months left. We just
but
lost 3 months, so it'd be nice to go back and just do that and finish it off, and whatever extra happens.
So was that your first trip to Florida, or have you been?
Well, in
2018,
2018
Oh,
was
2018 was the first one.
trip. We did 4 months, and then June 19 we went. The plan was a whole year, and we got to March, and then obviously we had to But it was great because that was like, because Owen Salmon on the bass, he hadn't been long in the band when we did the first trip, so. And we didn't know each other at all, so we did get that chance to actually properly play together, and like every day, and not just twice or once a week. It was every day and living within close proximity of each other. So it was very helpful, those 2 trips. Like you don't realize how tight you get. You know,
It's
when you play
notice
together
when you
every
come
single
home,
day,
yeah.
you just don't realize. It just becomes sort of second nature.
You've recorded a couple of albums? Did you do that over the years? I know you have one coming up, but what about previous albums? Have you done albums and singles and stuff like that?
We've a cover album of just Irish songs. That's called 4,000 Miles. We have our first original album.
4,000 miles.
4,000 miles.
So what's the what's
4,000
I'm
miles
thinking
is
of Proclaimers?
4,000 miles from Thurles to Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
We recorded
If you
it
want to
for
be
that.
If you want to be technical, it's 4,003. So but there's no ring to that, so we just left it at 4,000. We
Yeah, okay.
went 3 miles out of Thurles towards Florida and just named it.
I'd have called it 4,003 miles.
No, that's because you're awkward. You wanted 13 songs on an album, and
Why not?
it hurt me because
But we,
I like things particular. So I begged.
We had we did our first original album in 2017 that was called Turbulence, and we're playing a song off that actually in a bit. So
Oh, great.
with that we did an EP after Turbulence, and we obviously have the new album coming out next week. So we got a few bits and pieces under our belt, you know.
And the album that's coming out or next week, isn't it? This day next week, actually, is
Yes.
it? Yeah. You recorded that over in Florida, so was that last year you recorded while you were over there?
About the end of 2019 into the start.
Yeah,
of
it started
2020.
to kind of we were started recording it about August-ish. Going off my Instagram, it's about August we started recording it officially, and banged it out. And then kind of we did listen to it. Paul came over for Christmas, and we were listening to it, and kind of it just didn't feel right. We were kind of like, oh, there's a lot of mistakes and there's a lot of bits. We could do this a bit better and try it again. So basically, Owen went into his room and hit delete. And
You're joking, yeah?
I don't know exactly what he did. He just went in, slammed the door, and we didn't see him for a while. So we started then probably back again around January-ish. And because we had all recorded before, literally went in, banged it out, and it went very well. And we had to tweak a few bits and tweak some bits and pieces and stuff. And had to go back to a couple of the songs, the likes of Hurtful Souls. A few of the songs had to kind of tempo changes. We were kind of like, yeah, this song is feeling a bit slow. We might up it a small bit and so forth. And so we were lucky enough that we'd say about 95, 98% of it recorded over in Florida before it happened, because Owen was on the hard part now of actually just finishing it off and putting the final touches to it. And then the March happened and we landed back home, and during lockdown Owen was working away with it in his spare time as well if he wasn't working. And every now and then with social distance he used to call us down one by one and have a listen. If there are certain parts, like he'd bring James down for the guitar and the vocals, Sean for melody, percussion, and himself. Actually, funny enough, we never saw Owen Salmon record his bass for this album. So technically,
don't know what it was
Owen might not be on this album physically. We don't know. So we've actually never seen him record his record his parts.
Unsure if it's him.
It could be all computer. We don't know. But we leave it up to. He said he did it, so we believe him. But so we were lucky enough to actually be able to go back and actually be able to fix bits, and we sat down. And then when lockdown kind of eased there back midsummer, the four of us were able to sit down and listen to it through a million times, and we were happy with it, like, obviously, because we're putting it out. So
how many songs is on the
12
altogether,
and 10 songs. Yeah. So we're very happy with it, and we're really excited for it, because first of all, it was supposed to be out in March or September of 2020. That's 2020, Sean, not 2030. It's our joke that on Raglan Road
okay, over
and
time,
stuff, Sean prolonged the length of the album, which it would be nearly 2030 at this stage. But I've lost my train of thought now, and that's terrible. Yeah.
Well done, on.
Yeah.
September 2020.
Yeah, we're bringing it out September 2020, but obviously couldn't with the lockdowns and stuff, and we didn't know what we were going to do, so we just started bringing out singles. When we came home in summer, we finished off the album, brought out Jigtime, and let it do its course. Fuaim came out then in October. Did a Christmas single, had to take a break from the album, so we brought out a Christmas single. And then brought out What If in March.
What's the Christmas single?
We did Walking in the Air.
I heard of your version of it, actually. It's on Spotify, is it?
It's on Spotify,
I did hear it,
we kind of started somewhat of a small tradition with our friend, our friends kind of around town, and with lockdown we couldn't really do it as much as we wanted to do it this year. So we kind of brought in Quiva, our friend from Raglan. She plays the fiddle and stuff like that. She's actually featuring in our album launch come Friday.
Oh, nice.
So she does fiddle on our album as well. So she's a really good friend and she's a fantastic musician. So we're very lucky to have her involved. But yeah, so we kind of do the Christmas singles as a bit of it's a project. Do you know what I mean? Just to
good
kind
to
of
keep the name out there though during the lockdown.
exactly,
You say,
and so on. And we had we did Fairy Tale New York in 2007, 18, yeah. With a few, and we had Quiva with our friend Isabel, Stevie and Isabel used to be in the band, and who else was there? Sean played whistle for the first time on that track. So
okay.
there you go. It's the start of a beautiful relationship with him and his whistles.
Have you got covers on the album, or have you got traditional or original ones, or what's on the album that's good?
The Unsolicited Dance is all originals.
All originals. Every single one. All 12.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's a bit different from Turbulence. The two tunes we did on Turbulence are our own arrangements. They're not ours, and so we just kind of Sean threw together the Mystery Inch set. He laid it out first, and Luke Nesbitt, he used to be Sean's position. He put together the Paddy Fahey's reel. So
okay.
So we just threw them on the album and on Turbulence, and then Sean got the knack for writing tunes, and so came the two tunes that we have now. So
what sort of songs are we going to hear on the album next week?
I think the songs for everyone.
Yeah.
Songs and feelings and.
What audience were you focusing on? Were you focused on different subjects when you're writing the songs? You wrote most of the songs, did you? Or you wrote them together?
Well, between us all, really, the songs and the tunes, they all just came together one way or another. Yeah. But the first couple of songs were either lyrics that he wrote or lyrics I had, and songs just happened. But there's no real kind of focus on a specific
just a
person or people. But
we just more than people. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of how we were feeling in the moment when we wrote the songs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So. But as we were saying to each other, we think that there's something for everyone. There are songs that are really happy. There are songs that are pretty maudlin.
Yeah.
Pretty sad.
It's
and
folk music.
And there are songs that are kind of real chilled, and there are songs that are just chaos, and kind of heavy songs as well. You know, they're lyrical and musical. So there's a lot of different stuff floating around on it, and we're hoping that people will pick up on that, and maybe hopefully they like
the launch is happening. Where is it happening? The launch.
It's the Source Art Centre in Thurles.
The Source Art Centre. That's this day next week.
Yes.
And it's virtual, being launched virtually, is it?
It's been launched virtually. Yeah, we pre-recorded it and stuff like that, and just for the whole. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to get it right.
We unfortunately didn't have the setup you have right now with cameras all over the place. So so we shot it with the Constantine brothers. They don't really have an official name together yet, but Owen and Kieran, we've done separate projects with them, and this is the first one we've actually done with them together, and it was great. I thought they were going to be killing each other because they're brothers, and do you know what I mean? Okay. I argue with my brother, he argues with his brother, and so forth.
Sure,
and I thought, oh God, there's going to be war.
There's some rows between the parties as well.
But in fairness, they're very the Constantines. They're very professional and they're great at what they do. And we're really looking forward to. We haven't actually got to have a look at it yet, so hopefully Sean is officially the first one to go look at it. So we're really looking forward to seeing how it goes.
I look forward to it as well. I use putting it out on obviously social media and all that, and the normal platforms.
It's out on all the streaming sites you can muster.
Brilliant. I look forward to hearing it myself. What you're going to do? Are you going to do? What songs are you going to do now? You're going to do another couple for us?
We're doing one of the tunes from the album. We're going to do the Pedantic Platypus. Is the name of this one? The name of the next one, anyway. I kind of can't remember what's on the set.
I think I might have it here. Everybody have?
Yes.
We're doing Day in the Life, which is off our EP.
Okay.
And we're doing Pedantic Platypus.
And We Ask How from Turbulence.
So we have basically a touch of all three of our original dealings on Spotify. We have our EP, first album and second album. Yeah. So giving you a taste of everything. So
lads, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for the interview. And I'm going to let you take the stage, and I'm looking forward to hear the second half of our third half of the show. Let's just take the stage, lads.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, again, what about it, folks? What can I say? It's an absolute pleasure to talk to the lads. I spoke to all four of them from the very start to now. It's even better to hear their music. I'm shocked to hear, I'm delighted to hear that they're going to do 12 songs on their new album, and they're all original songs and tunes. I think they said 10 songs and 2 tunes. And they're going to play another 4 songs for us now, and I'm looking forward to it. So sit back and relax. Here we go, Strings and Things.
Okay, we ready? Yeah. Okay. This one is called The Pedantic Platypus. Very cool. Thank you very, very much. As I said, that one is called The Pedantic Platypus. Hope you enjoyed. And that will be out this day week on the Unsolicited Dance.
Finally.
Finally. And we're going to play another song from Unsolicited Dance for you now. The first single we put out.
Yes.
This is a song called Jigtime, and it was the lyrics of this song were given to us by Sean's mother, Ethel, who is in her own right a brilliant songwriter, brilliant poet. There we go. Yeah, I got there in the end. Yeah.
Hi, ma'am.
Who is surely watching, isn't she?
Oh, she is. Great band mammy, so she is. Great band mammy.
So we're going to play the song for you now. This is Jigtime. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 2. if you need a helping hand. I'll be there in Jigtime to calm the blowing sands. I'll be there in Jigtime, for you only have to say. I'll be there in Jigtime until my dying day. Woo! I'm on my way into life, a long way I have gone. I'm nothing more, I'm nothing less, I'm no more than a pawn. The sun will rise tomorrow, the moon will rise tonight. I will always be here for you, like the shining star so bright. I'll be there in Jigtime if you need a helping hand. I'll be there in Jigtime to calm the blowing sands. I'll be there in Jigtime, for you only have to say. I'll be there in Jigtime until my dying day. No one's ever told me thank you for being there. No one's ever told me thank you that you care. My life, it goes unnoticed, like a rocket lost in space. But I will be remembered or fade without a trace. And I'll be there in Jigtime if you need a helping hand. I'll be there in Jigtime to calm the blowing sands. I'll be there in Jigtime, for you only have to say. I'll be there in Jigtime until my dying day. And I'll be there in Jigtime until my dying day.
That was lovely.
Thanks very much, Owen. Thanks very much. That's Jigtime. Free now.
So, yeah.
So the next song we're going to play, we recorded between our first album and the new one. We recorded an EP called the Anorak Jack EP, and we're going to play a song from one of the songs from that for you now. And if you will give me one moment to tune.
So we spent a lot of time tuning in this band.
Yes.
I don't know how to stop that. We've been doing this for a while. We've come up with ways around it. Yeah. We talk like this over while we're tuning, and people don't notice as much.
I notice. I know it's a joke. But yeah, Day in the Life was written, I wrote the lyrics to this. It's generally a day-to-day of if you work a 9-to-5 job, like I do. Well, the lads are doing it now, so they're working a 9-to-5 job. And it's just basically how your week plots out, both mentally and physically. And I wrote it while at work, so don't judge me for that. So, but this one's called Day in the Life.
Yeah.
Not to be confused by the Beatles one. This is
Our
Strings
one.
and Things one.
Here we go.
breaking down walls on a Monday. Alarm bells shatter your sleep. The weekend's gone, not much to say. You pick up your stuff from a heap. Tuesday's mole is stronger still. Heart breaks with one day gone. You slump on, get over the hill. Will to live to carry on. It's just another day in the life. 5 simple steps we have to follow. Get over the slump is a goal in itself. We all just live for tomorrow. We all just live for tomorrow. A Wednesday half, well, it's finally here. You can see the light in the tunnel. The side of your freedom is coming clear. Gearing up to face your earnings. Thursday you're feeling not so bad. Money in the bank to pay your due. Counting down the hours will drive you mad. Just one more day to go. Well, it's just another day in the life. 5 simple steps we have to follow. Get over the slump is a goal in itself. We all just live for tomorrow. We all just live for tomorrow. Well, nothing simply beats that Friday feeling. Oh yeah, the best motivation in the world. Getting through the day, it gives hope meaning. The weekend is the best reward. It's just another day in the life. 5 simple steps we have to follow. Get over the slump is a goal in itself. We all just live for tomorrow. It's just another day in the life. 5 simple steps we have to follow. Get over the slump is a goal in itself. We all just live for tomorrow. We all just live for tomorrow. Yeah. Nice. That didn't go too bad at all. That's called Day in the Life for you there now. Nice fun song. Okay, so the last of our original songs, we're going to play a song for you now from our first album called Turbulence. This is actually the last song on that album. It's a song called We Ask How. We ask how. Who?
We ask a lot of questions, to be honest.
Well, we're asking how right now. Okay, we good?
We'll try that again.
Let the sun sink beneath the waves. Tell them all of our best days as we look at the stars. It seems that no man or beast can march from afar. A familiar smell, it takes me back to the day the sun turned black. The ground stood on could not be relied on, and we were controlled by strings. Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask how. Memories of time gone by, 10 years on, but I won't cry. The land where we built our house, well, it shines no more, and still we ask how. Promises and they're all lies. The queen, she knew, she saw in her eyes. One more, could we tread for black winters across the shores to hell, or to England seas fair? Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask and I can't decide what's wrong or right. They will decide whether we live or die. Let the match light the flame. This is the final game. Here we are now. The only crossing is the sea. Now in thousands we all flee. We ask how, we ask how. We ask how, we ask how. Day or night, cartoon or play, which one first will go away? The sands, they're all back now, and we ask how. We ask how.
Ooh, nice. We did it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in as us here this evening. And we are Strings and Things. And we are going to be joined for our final song with the man himself, Mr. Stephen Leeson.
Thanks for having me on stage, which is
It's a pleasure.
do an old traditional song, Raglan Road, we said we were going to do, yeah? Yeah. Okay, I'll start it off and you just kick into whatever way you do it, yeah? Oh yeah, E, sorry, I'm in the wrong key. Thank you. On Raglan roads of a Natsan day, I saw her first and flew. The turtle came, would be there, that I might one day rule. I saw the danger as I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief, if falling at the dawning of the day.
On Gotham streets in November, we tip lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can we see the words of passion's pledge. The Queen of Hearts, she's still making starts, and I'm not making hay. For I love too much, and by such is happiness thrown away.
I gave a gift, a love of mine. I gave her the secret signs that's known to the artists who have known the true God of sound and stone. And while intense, I did not stint. I gave her poems to say, with her own name there, and her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May.
On a quiet street where the old ghosts meet, I see her walking now. Away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow. For I have wooed not as I should, a creature still made of clay. When the angel moves his wings, he lifts his wings at the dawn of day.
What about it, folks? Strings and things. Lads, thank you very much once again for having me on the stage. Thank you very much for coming along. Love the songs. Looking forward to hearing the album, and I'm going to look at it next week.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you very much, Laz.
Great crack.
Folks, next week, same time, same place. Tune in. We have the Ivy Sisters. Looking forward to it. Take care. Good luck.